You're not going to believe this.
What?
Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers.
No way. What'd they get?
Kenny Clark, 2 firsts.
Oh, my God. Damn.
Yep.
I was hoping the Bucs would get him.
So was I.
Oh, man, we're going to have to reshoot the whole game. The whole dynamic of the game has changed. We're going to have to shoot this again. Okay, the Philadelphia Eagles at home, the defending world champions against the Dallas Cowboys. What a way to start the season. I get the goosebumps again, man. Well, here we go. That's football. Okay, opening night. It's the Dallas Cowboys, 7-10 a year ago, heading to Philadelphia to play the world champion, 14-3 Philadelphia Eagles. I cannot wait for this game. We have to do it again, you see, because we previewed the game, we edited it, we had it all ready to go, and then the Micah Parsons trade had happened, so I had to come in here in the middle of the freaking night and do it again. Keep an eye on the Cowboys' Micah Parsons, but we don't know what his status is with this contract. That's what we do here at the FFCA. We grind, man. We try to get it right, bring you quality content. Know what I mean? Knock on wood if you're with me. Anyways, this is a great rivalry. I was a part of this rivalry for 3 years. Back in 1995, the Dallas Cowboys came to Philadelphia. I was the offensive coordinator. 13-13 tie late in the game, fourth quarter. Head coach Barry Switzer of the Cowboys on 4th and 1 from his own 25-yard line goes for it. They hand the ball to Emmitt Smith behind Moose Johnson. Kaboom! Man, we get the ball. We're going to win the game. Well, they said we took a timeout. They made us do it again. They gave Dallas a do-over. Switzer went for it again. Same handoff, Aikman to Emmitt. Bam! We knocked it out again, got the ball, kicked their ass. We won the game. Still, I get goosebumps. Greatest day of my life. A couple years later, we were in Dallas. I was offensive coordinator. They kicked our ass. I was walking to the press box, getting to the elevator, and all these Cowboy guys with cowboy hats, they said, come on back here next year, boy. We love having you. Well, we came in there with Ty Detmer, and we shredded them, man. And we had an interception, pick 6, took it to the house. Woo! This is a big rivalry. Football season is here, and whether you're grinding through the week or getting ready for kickoff, there's one ride that's always game ready, the Chevy Silverado. Built for the hustle, ready for the game. Silverado is America's most dependable full-size truck. Head to Chevy.com to learn more and build your own Chevy Silverado. This game features Nick Sirianni, head coach of the Eagles, 4-0 in opening ball games. He's right now on track as one of the greatest head football coaches ever in his first 4 years. I mean, he's been to 2 Super Bowls and won one. Take that, all you critics. He's going up against Brian Schottenheimer of the Dallas Cowboys. What a football name that is. Son of head coach Marty Schottenheimer. This is his first game as the head coach of the Cowboys. Jerry Jones and Will McClay make a lot of these football decisions, and it'll be those 2 men matching wits against Howie Roseman, the GM of the Eagles. And what a job Howie Roseman has done. He doesn't sit still. They win a championship, and you'll see they're still making a lot of changes in an attempt to get back to the Super Bowl and win it. There is a huge amount of drama going on this week with the Micah Parsons trade. Hell, every podcast has people talking about this trade. It's going to be a dramatic situation. Will it galvanize the Cowboys? Will they rally around themselves? And maybe it will galvanize them. Or will it just demoralize them and deflate them? It'll be interesting to see how the Cowboys come out of the tunnel against the vaunted world champion Philadelphia Eagles, their rival, while the Philadelphia Eagles hoist up a world championship banner. That should piss off Dallas if I know the Cowboys like I think I do. Last year, this was a lopsided ball game, both of them. The Philadelphia Eagles got a can of whoop ass, and they went to Dallas, thrashed them 34-6. That was the first game Dallas played without Dak Prescott. Remember, Prescott did not play. And in the second game, end of season, meaningless game. All the backup quarterbacks played. Philly 41-7. That's 81-13. That was a can of whoop-ass that exploded on Dallas. But Jalen Hurts, quarterback of the Eagles, at home in this beautiful stadium in Philly. He's 27-4 all time. He wins at home. You got to know that. Prescott returns, the $60 million man for Dallas. Dak Prescott is 9-4 all time against the Philadelphia Eagles, and he's won 4 out of his last 5. He's healthy. He's determined. He's the undisputed leader. Can he pull off a huge upset when everybody doubts the Cowboys? Philadelphia is looking to three-peat. They want to win the NFC East for the 3rd straight season. And the Dallas Cowboys, 29 years it's been since they've been to the NFC Championship game. That's as long as anybody in football. So they shook things up this week and got everybody's attention. I kind of like it personally. You know, when you think about opening games, first game of the year, I don't care where I've been, Raiders, 49ers, Buccaneers, Eagles, I don't care where I've been, you have to deal with a lot of uncertainty. Both teams have new coaches, whether it be an assistant or a head coach. There's new players on the team. There's a new attitude, good or bad. There's also a conditioning factor. Hell, none of these guys even play in the preseason anymore. What kind of shape are they in? We don't know. We'll find out. Is the chemistry the same, good or bad? You don't stay the same in this business. You get better or worse. What about the officiating? It's their first game too. You think these guys make all the right calls? Hell no. Are you out of your skull? They blow a lot of calls. They haven't been officiating together either. This will be interesting. And lastly, you know, I was nervous the first game as a broadcaster, for crying out loud. There's a lot of nerves, man, and excitement. I think the key personnel thought going into this game is the Micah Parsons trade. Let it settle in for a second, and you be the judge before we get all crazy here with these comments, you know what I mean, that you can't back up. Parsons, great player, a lot of production, 52.5 sacks in 4 years, 12 or more sacks in his first 4 seasons. Only Reggie White has done that. That puts him in rare air. 126 pressures and a 31% win rate over his first 4 years. That's pretty good. Number 1 in the league. So they're going to be missing Parsons. And now, how will that affect the Philadelphia Eagles' protection plan? Let's find out as the game unfolds. Who replaces Parsons? You think the Cowboys are done with no edge rushers? Hell no. Why do you think they went out and drafted Donovan Ezeraku? Why do you think they did that? He's a second-round pick. He's out of Boston College. He led the country in sacks. Maybe they saw him all through training camp and said, damn, let's get him some reps. They also have the return of Sam Williams, former second-round pick out of Ole Miss. He was out all last year. This guy is big and strong. He has a power rush. He's got speed. He had 9 sacks in his first 2 years. So they have 2 rushers a lot of people don't know about. They also brought back Dante Fowler, man. He had 10.5 sacks for the Commanders last year. Fowler has 55.5 in his career. So there's 3 rushers nobody's talking about. I haven't heard anybody talking about him. And then they also got this Marshawn Kneeland guy, a second-round pick 2 years ago. These are 4 defensive ends. And they have a new defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus. Shit, he might run a 3-down package with blitzes all over the place. You really don't know. And the Cowboys got Kenny Clark, a hell of a player from Green Bay, to be a run stuffer. They haven't stopped the run. Shit, they were 29th in the league last year in run defense. So perhaps they improved their run defense, and maybe they have some guys that can really get after your ass off the edge, and they got 2 first-round picks next year and the following year. I'm trying to stick up for Dallas. Nobody else is. Anyways, think about that. It's an eye-opening trade the week of the first game. Eye-opening. Believe me, you walk in, you see your players going, holy shit, what are they going to do next? It gets your attention. And will it create an eye-opening new attitude for the Cowboys? I hope it does. I hope this turns into an old-school NFC East showdown. Take a look at the injuries, please. There are significant injuries you better look into before you do anything. On the Dallas side, Overshown, outstanding linebacker. He's out. He'll be back at some point this season, but he is out. Trayvon Diggs, will he play? How much will he play? He just got off the PUP list. Keep an eye on Diggs. He's big against A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. Kalen Carson, starting corner last year, out, won't play. Peyton Turner, backup defensive end, IR, gone. 7th round draft choices, Mingo kid, rookie out of Clemson, running back on IR, out. Jonathan Mingo, big receiver they traded for last year from Carolina, he's out. And this Phil Maffa, rookie 7th round pick, running back out of Clemson, looked good in the preseason, out. And keep an eye on the starting left tackle of the Cowboys. 1st round pick a year ago, Tyler Guyton. He hurt his knee late in July, did not play at all in the preseason. Didn't play great last year either. Is he going to start at left tackle with no preseason? We will see. If he doesn't, it'll be Nate Thomas, number 71, a 7th round pick 2 years ago out of Louisiana. Overshown, out. Will Diggs play? Big question. Keep an eye on Guyton at left tackle. The Philadelphia Eagles, they look healthy to me. Little concern with Devonta Smith with the groin, a wide receiver. The great A.J. Brown had some hamstring tightness, but they both practiced. But let's keep an eye on those injuries before you do anything. And Landon Dickerson, left guard, badass Pro Bowler, hurt his knee. Everybody was concerned, up in arms, rightfully so. He's back on the practice field. That's not good for Dallas. Not good at all. And Jordan Mailata, he had a concussion or something. He didn't do much in the preseason. Bad news, he's back too if you're a Dallas fan. These are two bad customers. Keep an eye on the Eagles. Injuries. Finally, if it comes down to special teams, a guy who could impact this game is Kevontae Turpin, kick returner wideout for the Cowboys. He took a kickoff for a touchdown and a punt return back last year, and he was a Pro Bowler. Keep an eye on him. And if it comes down to field goal kicking, these are two great kickers. Everybody says, Jake Elliott had a down year last year. Bullshit. He's 26 for 27 all time in the playoffs, man. He's an Iceman. Yeah, hell of a kicker. But the best kicker in the league, if you ask me, is this Brandon Aubrey guy. Brandon Aubrey is 24 out of 27 from plus 50. Do you know that, Jake? Wow. I mean, he made a 60-yarder, Clay. Then he made another 60-yarder and a 65-yarder. So this guy could probably kick an extra point from the Rocky Balboa statue over at the old Superdome. That's no shit. Lastly, these are bird dogs on defense. Philadelphia Eagles are birds, and they have a lot of Georgia Bulldogs, so I call them the bird dogs. Think about it. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Kelly Ringo's going to start at corner. They brought in Azeez Ojulari. Love that guy. And Nakobe Dean's coming back from an injury. They even drafted a young linebacker from Georgia. The Bird Dogs. You like that? Let's get into the game, man. Okay, this offense-defense matchup is brought to you by Fox 1. On Fox 1, you can stream your favorite live sports. So you never miss that, did you see that moment? That means Fox NFL Sundays are now on Fox 1. I gotta have it. I just can't stand missing games that are live. It's NFL Sundays, all streaming live, the way it was meant to be watched. Start your 7-day free trial today. Offers are subject to change. Go to Fox 1 for complete terms and conditions. Fox 1, we live for live. Streaming now, sign up today. Okay, the Philadelphia Eagle offense against the Dallas Cowboy defense. I cannot wait to see it. The Eagles have a new offensive coordinator, Kevin Padullo. He's been with head coach Nick Sirianni a long time. He was with them in Indianapolis. He's been waiting his turn here with the Philadelphia Eagles. This will be Jalen Hurts' 5th offensive play caller in 5 years. That's a credit to Hurts for not losing his mind. How would you like to put up with a different screaming coach every single year? It's tough, man. But Padullo will go up against Matt Eberflus, the new defensive coordinator of the Cowboys. Everybody remembers Eberflus as the head coach of the Bears. He was the defensive coordinator of the Colts prior to that, and he also was the linebacker coach of these Dallas Cowboys. So he knows what Jerry Jones is looking for, and he knows a little bit about this Cowboy defense. Let's see. The Eagles' offense, very productive. 7th in scoring. They had the 2nd leading rushing attack last year, and they run the ball more than any team in the league, over 55% of the time. And they are 29th in the league in pass offense. Everybody's like, oh, they can't pass. They don't have to pass. It's hard to throw for yards when you're handing it off. But when you look at Jalen Hurts, he's coming off a career year throwing the ball. Even though the yardage numbers are down, he threw for 69%. He had a 103.7 QB rating, and he only threw 5 picks. So when they do throw it, they're very good. I don't like to think about it, but you have to. The backup quarterback of the Eagles, Tanner McKee, got hurt in the preseason. And right before the end of training camp, they acquired Sam Howell to be their backup. Howell came over from Minnesota. He's bounced around the league, literally, man. He's had a very short time to learn this offense. If something happened, or Jalen Hurts has to come out for any period of time, they're putting in a quarterback who just got here. That's something to think about. But it's this running game. You know, if you love football and you get some films and you really study the exactness of what the Eagles do running the rock, it is unbelievable. They have the best line coach in the league. His name is Jeff Stoutland. The guy's unbelievable, man. He develops players, he develops their attitude, and he develops schemes that will knock you out. They have gap schemes where they double team and pull linemen. They have all these zone schemes, and they got all the NCAA college football RPO schemes that drive me freaking nuts, man. It's a lot to defend. In short yardage and goal line, short yardage situations especially, they run that tush push. Did you see all the people screaming and yelling after the Washington game when Washington was jumping over piles trying to stop it? It's almost unstoppable. So you got to understand the bottom line is production in every situation. Whether they're under the center, in the shotgun, or in short yardage or goal line, these guys can bust you up running the rock, man. And they have Saquon Barkley coming off a historic year. Can you imagine what the Giants feel like up the street thinking that son of a bitch was on our team? God dang it! That guy had over 2,000 yards. He broke a record, man, for yardage rushing, including the playoffs. He had 7 runs of 60 yards or more. Good God, that's hard to do in Pop Warner football. This guy's magnificent. And the thing about Barkley I love the most, he is a hell of a receiver. So if you're into fantasy football, I think you're going to see Barkley catch it even more this year because of his ability on the perimeter. The other thing is Jalen Hurts has 4 straight seasons of 10 or more rushing touchdowns. So think about the misery that it puts on a defense when Hurts catches the shotgun snap and puts it in Saquon's chest. If it's a good look, he'll hand the ball off. If somebody's closing, he'll pull it and run it himself. It's a freaking wicked combination. And Hurts is built like a running back. I mean, the guy squats about 800 pounds. But it's a creative scheme. It's very productive and downright dangerous because they can generate big plays. But what it does is, listen carefully on this if it makes sense, Jake. It sets up the red line pass offense. Ask me what that is, Clay.
What's the red line?
Well, we put red lines on our practice field 3 or 4 yards from the sideline on both sides. And we say, get a great receiver like A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. And what will happen is, if Dallas loads the box with 7 guys and keeps a single safety deep in the middle, they're going to let these receivers, A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, run right down the field deep, down the red line, giving Hurts room to throw it to the sideline where these guys can track it and make acrobatic catches. And they will blow your face off with these big catches, man. If you load the box, Hurts will just pick it up and launch it over your head or on the back shoulder. It's a wicked, deadly combination. So Dallas has to be careful, man. If you're going to play a single high defense and load the box, you better do it late, or Hurts will see it. He'll make a hand signal over there. And A.J. Brown, he's built like Jim Brown. My God, if I had a body like that, man, I'd be at the beach. He's a hell of a player. So they got a lot they can do. But keep an eye, okay, on the short yardage sneaks. It's a big issue, the tush push. Nick Sirianni knows all the screaming and yelling. What's the contingency play? Because they have another play off of the tush push. If Dallas loads the box, there is a toss play. There is some creative plays that they have. So in short yardage, ask yourself, what's the contingency play they're going to run? They're saving something for short yardage. let's take a look at Dallas and their mindset under Matt Eberflus. They want to come in here. They know they got to stop the run, and they got to stay on top of these red line passes. That is probably the number one thing at the forefront of every call they make. They have to find a way to take the ball away. That's what the Dallas Cowboys did great when Dan Quinn was the defensive coordinator for 3 years under Dan Quinn. They led the NFL with 93 takeaways. They led the NFL with 59 picks. They led the league with 15 defensive touchdowns. If they can do that, steal a pass, scoop a fumble, and score, they could change this game. Trust me. They are bigger inside now on defense with the addition of Kenny Clark coming over from Green Bay. That should help them stop the run. But when you watch this game, who is the starting corners for the Cowboys? We're going to talk about those matchups in a second. It's scary, man. I don't know who these guys are and what their health status is. This is a mission statement game for Dallas. I mean, show our hand, man. Empty the tank. Empty the clip. Let's freaking go, man. Let's set a new attitude, a new standard in this game against the world champions on national television. That's the message the Cowboys have to hear clearly. They got to win on first down. They got to shut down somehow the Eagles on first down. Get them in 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9. Make them throw the ball, something they don't really want to do. And beware, 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 sitting at home. Look for these two things. Number one, Jalen Hurts will audible to a running play against the blitz. That's where some of Saquon Barkley's biggest runs came. Ask the Rams. They're playing third down defense with some pressure coming. He audibles to a run, and Saquon hits his head on the goalpost. So be alert for audible runs against pressure. And the last thing is, when you're in a no-back set, there are no running backs. You think it's a run or a pass? It's a pass. Well, they have designed runs that'll kick your ass. So keep an eye on that, Clay. You just learned something today. Beware. Let's get into the matchups quickly. Up front, Philadelphia, 4 blue-chip Pro Bowl players. Jordan Mailata at left tackle. Jake will show you the picture of me and Mailata at the Super Bowl. The guy looks like Shrek on steroids, man. He is one big freaking athletic guy. He's the best. They got Landon Dickerson. Some of his second-level blocks should be illegal. Cam Jurgens. How many guys take over for Kelsey, a perennial Pro Bowl center, and walk in there and go to the Pro Bowl themselves? This guy's a great center. The right guard is Tyler Steen. Steen is the guy you got to keep an eye on. He's replacing Mekhi Becton, who went to the Chargers. This is a new player we got to find out about. And the other Pro Bowler is Lane Johnson at right tackle. They are decorated, great players up front. Mailata, Dickerson, Jurgens, and Lane Johnson. Keep an eye on the right guard, Steen. And remember, Jeff Stoutland, best coach in the league. He coaches them up, man. If there's any issues at guard with Dickerson's injury, it'll be Brett Toth, who played the entire preseason at left guard. And they're going to be going up against the Cowboy front, I think, that is underestimated. I know they lost Parsons, but they have good players inside. This Osa Odigizua got a big contract in the offseason. He wears number 97, and in the last 7 games, he was a pain in the ass. I think Odigizua has to go over there against this new guard of the Eagles and kick some ass and have some success. They got Kenny Clark, 10-year veteran, only 29 years old, from the Packers. He's a great guy and brings some leadership and juice and playmaking. He was hurt last year. His stats weren't really reflective of Kenny Clark. He got hurt in that Brazil game and wasn't himself the whole season. He played through some bullshit. But I like Kenny Clark a lot with Odigizua. They also brought in Solomon Thomas, former first-round pick, was with the Jets. I had him with the Raiders. Great guy, especially in pass rush situations. They also have their former first-round pick, Mozzie Smith, out of Michigan. So you got 2 number-1 draft choices coming off the bench, man. Knock on a grease board if you're with me. That's not bad. And at defensive end, Dante Fowler. He's got over 50 sacks, 10.5 sacks last year. High effort, high motor, good player, can give anybody fits. And they also have these other pass rushers. Remember, Sammy Williams is a good player. Second-round pick out of Mississippi, 9 sacks in his first 2 years. He has a power rush. He's got speed to get the edge. They're not completely, shot without Parsons there. And on the other side, they're going to use Marshawn Kneeland, second-round pick last year. He's going to be better than he was a year ago. And they also have this year's second-round pick, Donovan Ezaraku. He's a second-round pick, Boston College. He led the country in sacks. I'm telling you, they were sitting around watching film going, let's get this son of a bitch out there, man. So they have 4 guys on the edge to go up and do battle. They have some good guys inside. On the outside, I think this is where the game needs to be studied. It's going to be the great A.J. Brown. I know he's got some tightness in his hamstring. He wears number 11. 17 100-yard games for A.J. Brown. Last year, the Eagles were 2-2 and averaging 18 points a game without A.J. Brown when he was hurt. When he did play, they were 16-1 and averaged almost 32 points a game. Hello! This guy's a summit, man. He's good, man. And he's going to go up against, I think, Kaiir Elam, the ex-Buffalo Bill, wearing number 20. Keep an eye on Elam versus A.J. Brown. Elam was a disappointment in Buffalo, but sometimes the new scenery can change things. But that'll be a matchup worth watching. The former first-rounder Elam against A.J. Brown. What an acquisition by Howie Roseman. And over here, I love Devonta Smith. 308 catches, over 4,000 yards, 27 touchdowns in just 4 seasons. Who's it going to be? I'm an owl. Who? What's an owl say, Clay? Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Trevon Diggs? Hell of a player, but he's missed a lot of time. He's got a bad knee. He's been on PUP. Will he play? How much will he play? And A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith are going to find out how that knee feels. If he can't play, I don't know what they're going to do, because I do believe they want to put Deron Bland, excellent corner on the outside. I think he's going to start at nickel if Diggs can play. If Diggs can't play, I think Bland has to go outside, and that becomes a pretty good matchup. But now, what's an owl say, Jake? What happens if Bland goes outside? Who becomes the nickel corner? That'll probably be, Reddy Stewart. They had a guy, Keemon Hall, who played pretty good in the preseason. They put him on the practice squad. The Cowboys, you got to keep an eye on the matchups on the outside. Who starts outside and who starts inside? And if they get one more guy hurt, they could be in trouble. And then Saquon Barkley as a runner and receiver, we can't talk about how great he is. They also signed, here's a name to keep an eye on, men. A.J. Dillon came over from the Green Bay Packers. Everybody forgot A.J. Dillon. Oh, that big back that had 2,500 yards. 6 feet tall, 247 pounds. He might even return kickoffs. This big cat coming in fresh as a daisy, that could be a real problem for you. You know what I mean? Against these linebackers of the Cowboys, they've got new linebackers. Kenneth Murray came over from the Titans in a trade. 95 tackles, 3.5 sacks. Murray's on his 3rd team. Chargers, Titans, Cowboys. Can he realize that first-round potential coming out of Oklahoma? The other linebacker they brought in was Jack Sanborn from the Bears. Sanborn played for Eberflus in Chicago. He could wear the green dot. He started 19 games, 165 tackles in Chicago. He's wearing number 57. So will it be Murray or Sanborn? I want to find out. I think the other linebacker is this Marist Liufau. Marist Liufau, second-year player out of Notre Dame. He is a freaking buzzsaw. He got better and better last year. Liufau had 24 tackles, 12 solos, 2 forced fumbles in the last 4 games. He is a good player, and these 3 linebackers against the underneath pass offense and the recognition of who has the ball is going to be big. Don't forget the 2 safeties. It'll be Malik Hooker, ex-Indianapolis Colt. He played with Eberflus for 3 years when Eberflus was the D coordinator. So he's reunited with Hooker, and that is a good thing because they have intelligence with Sanborn and Hooker in communicating this defense, which is vital. They also have Donovan Wilson. Write down the word stinger, Jake, in your mind. Stinger means strong safety blitz. When you see Wilson running around here at the line of scrimmage, number 6, he's gonna blitz. He had 4 or 5 sacks last year. He's an impact blitzer, and he comes in some real odd situations. So keep an eye on that. And the tight end for the Philadelphia Eagles. Everybody's got to celebrate the return of Dallas Cowboys. He was a force when healthy in the playoffs. 17 catches, 240 yards. He was hard to cover, man. And so if you double Smith and you double A.J. Brown, they're going to run the ball and they're going to throw it in here to Dallas Cowboys, man. They also have Grant Calcaterra. I love that name. Calcaterra. I feel like I'm in an Italian restaurant. Hey, give me an order of Calcaterra. No, Grant Calcaterra is a good player, number 81, started 13 games. It'll be a hell of a matchup, but don't underestimate Dallas. Beware of these audible runs and the empty formation where Jalen Hurts might carry the ball himself. Okay, the Dallas Cowboy offense against the Philadelphia Eagle defense. Some key matchups to be aware of. In the marquee, you go down Las Vegas Boulevard, you see the bright lights. It's Brian Schottenheimer calling plays for the Cowboys, and it'll be Vic Fangio, the great defensive coordinator of the Eagles, going head-to-head. It'll be interesting to keep an eye on this young offensive line of the Cowboys. Will Tyler Guyton play at left tackle, or will it be Nate Thomas's first start? Cooper Beebe, second-year center in the pivot. You got a rookie, Tyler Booker, at right guard. Can this crowd deal with the noise with Dak Prescott making his return under center? The $60 million man. How healthy is the 10-year veteran? 32-year-old Dak Prescott coming off the hamstring injury. Can he still keep the ball on the zone read? Can he still hurt you scrambling? Will he take off and run? Those are some qualities that have made Prescott great. His ankle, his hamstring, his thumb has forced him to miss numerous games. But if they can keep Prescott healthy, good things could happen. But when you're Dak Prescott and you break the huddle, you're not just dealing with returning to action. You got a new play caller. You got a new left tackle possibly. You got a new number 2 receiver with George Pickens. You got a new feature back standing behind you in Javonte Williams. You got a new backup quarterback named Joe Milton. And you got a lot of new stuff going on. It'll be interesting. The Cowboy run game. When I was a kid, I remember my dad talking about Don Perkins and Calvin Hill. I remember when I was just starting to put on my football pants. And then they had Tony Dorsett. Then they had the great all-time rusher Emmitt Smith. Then they had Zeke Elliott. And now, not to be, sarcastic, but what does an owl say? Who is their feature back? They had Rico Dowdle last year. He had 1,000 yards. He's gone too. He went to Carolina. Their leading returning rusher is this guy named Turpin. He's a little receiver running on jet sweeps. He had 92 yards. What the hell are they doing with their run game? I don't know. It'll be interesting to find out. But when they ran the ball last year, nothing happened. They had 3 runs of 20 yards or more. Nothing happens. No big plays. No memories. And they brought in Javonte Williams from the Denver Broncos. And I loved Williams coming out of college at North Carolina. He had 900 yards as a rookie, had some injuries, signed a 1-year, $3 million contract. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. Hey, guys do change teams and kick some freaking ass. And I will be shocked if Williams doesn't run hard. They also have the ex-Philadelphia Eagle, Miles Sanders. We'll see where he is. And keep an eye on this Jaden Blue, draft pick out of Texas. If he's healthy, this guy's really fast and dynamic as a receiver, but let's get the running game going. I think the Cowboys might have to win underneath in pass offense. The coverage shell of Vic Fangio oftentimes is a 2-deep, split safety, umbrella coverage, and it really forces you to be patient. And I think they're going to have to work underneath against Cooper DeJean, the nickel corner, Zach Bond, who's very good as a coverage linebacker, and the rookie Jihad Campbell. I think they're going to need to throw the ball to Jake Ferguson, who got a big contract at tight end in the offseason. Ferguson has 150 catches. This guy can win, man, against linebackers or safeties underneath. They also need to somehow get this Jaden Blue guy going. I mean, we had Quinn Ewers in here, and I'm like, holy shit, who's that back? He goes, oh, it's Jaden Blue. God, he's fast. He can run choice routes, choice takeoffs. He's a factor, man. So I think if Blue and Ferguson and maybe Sanders can give the Cowboys some underneath passing weapons, it could really help them. But it'll be CeeDee Lamb, the guy they go to first. You know that almost 50% of Lamb's yardage is after the catch. So when he gets in the slot against Cooper DeJean, number 33 of the Eagles, it'll be like a welterweight fight, man. Two of the best at what they do. Both have great short area quickness. Both are premier competitors. And when you put them on primetime TV, as they say, shit happens, man. It'll be fun. The next thing is, with George Pickens coming over to play wide receiver from the Pittsburgh Steelers, everybody knows he has big-time talent. Everybody knows he has big play ability. And everybody knows he's been a big headache, too, in some ways. Can he, in a contract year, get it together at 24, 25 years old and get a can of whoop ass and bring it day after day after day, play after play after play? That's what I want to see. Pickens has over 800 yards receiving in each of his first 3 seasons. But with CD on one side, Ferguson in the middle, Pickens needs to see some of those 50-50 shot plays, and I think they can attack the corners of the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, Kelly Ringo, he has no resume other than what he did at Georgia. He hasn't played much. Adoree Jackson, he's not in Tennessee and he's not with the New York Giants for a reason. He's been inconsistent. So opposite Quinyon Mitchell, who's a great corner, this defender over here is going to have his hands full. That's why I think Coach Fangio is going to protect him with safeties over the top. And it'll be really important for Jake Ferguson, Jaden Blue, some of these underneath receivers of the Cowboys to kick some ass. Where is CeeDee Lamb? What do I mean by that? Ask me, Clay.
What do you mean?
Is he at Z over here playing to the tight end? Is he at X away from trips? Is he in the slot? Will they put him in the backfield? He is a really smart, instinctive receiver. They're going to move him all over the place. So on defense, you'll see the Eagles. Where is he? There he is. There he is. They're going to communicate some intricate ways to take him away because he is clearly the go-to guy. And finally, Turpin. What number's Turpin, Jake?
9.
Thank you. Keep an eye on this guy. He is their wild card, jet sweeps, gadgets, trick plays. He's fast, man. So keep an eye on Turpin when he's in the game. Now, from the Eagles standpoint, let's give Vic Fangio all the credit we can possibly give a coach. What a hell of a job he does wherever he goes. But you can't keep complimenting a guy all the time, all the time. You got to do it again. Then you got to do it again. Then you got to do it again. That's how football is. He's got to deal with a lot of new faces in key places. Let's not bullshit ourselves. They lost Josh Sweat. He was a hell of a pass rusher. He's in Arizona. They lost Brandon Graham. Didn't play a lot last year, but let me tell you something. This is the all-time badass leader of the Philadelphia Eagles in the locker room, and he could play in any situation. He's gone. He retired. They lost Gardner Johnson. I think he had 6 interceptions from his safety position. Great pass defender, and he had alpha qualities that I loved. He's gone. They also lost Darius Big Play Slay. He's gone. He went to Pittsburgh. And his backup, Isaiah Rodgers, played his ass off. He's going to start for the Vikings. That's a lot of guys. And Nakobe Dean, excellent young linebacker, still not ready to play. So there's some 6 pretty damn good players who played a lot of football for Coach Fangio last year. So it's important to think about that. But Fangio factor is very important to remember. He does a great job developing players. You've seen so many rookies like Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, and second-year players emerge. How about Zach Bond coming over from New Orleans? I mean, 150 tackles. He's a badass. He develops players. He also develops coaches. That's what fans need to remember. A lot of these young coaches, they come up, they get around Vic Fangio, and they listen to him like I did as a young coach, and you say, I'm going to do what he does. And he makes guys better, coaches and players. He's got to limit the big plays. That's been the secret sauce of Coach Fangio. Don't give these guys anything cheap. Make them earn it. Let the offense screw it up. He has intricate coverages. Me and Jake could play against C.D. Lamb in and out, high and low. There's a lot of different things they do with bunch stacks. Very complicated, disciplined pass defense. And what I love the most about him is everybody says Fangio doesn't blitz. He only blitzes 19% of the time. Well, when the 19% of the time he blitzes, look out, because they disguise him extremely well. You guys with me? Think about it. The other thing is they have issues on the edge, just like Dallas does. Who did Dallas lose, Clay?
Parsons.
They lost Micah Parsons. Everybody's up in arms. Well, the Eagles lost Josh Sweat, Bryce Huff, and Brandon Graham. They lost 3 guys. I don't care what you say. Gone. Well, who's going to replace them? They're counting on Nolan Smith in his 3rd year to continue to rise. He's not the biggest edge, but he is fast, and he is very, very good at getting home. They're counting on some guy named Jalix Hunt. You know where Houston Christian is, Clay?
No.
You know where it is, Jake? I don't either. And I've studied football my whole life. This guy's a 3rd-round pick, played safety, gets converted to edge rusher at Houston Christian. And when you watch the Eagles play last year, he was emerging during the playoffs. Former 3rd-round pick, had a sack and a half. So keep an eye on Jalix freaking Hunt. He's wearing number 58. Knock on a grease board if you're with me. Those are the guys, Smith and Hunt. They also brought in one of my favorite offseason acquisitions. It's a guy I loved at Georgia, Azeez Ojulari. He had 6 sacks for the Giants last year. He's going to be wearing number 13. This is a big piece for the Philadelphia Eagles. He's got 22 career sacks. I think he's a hell of a player. He and Nolan Smith will give you 2 bird dogs coming off the edge. And I like the addition of Ojulari. He's still young and electrifying. They also got the ex-New England Patriot, Josh Uche. He had double-digit sacks 1 year in New England. He's an undersized former Michigan Wolverine. He had no sacks last year with the Patriots and Chiefs combined. But can Uche come in here and reclaim his status as a really good edge rusher? We'll see. But they have issues coming off the edge as well. And lastly, let's just get into some of the issues that they have in the middle of their defense. Yes, they have Zach Bond back. And yes, Nakobe Dean is hurt still. But remember, Owen Burks left. He's no longer in Philadelphia either. He started throughout the playoffs and played well. So it's going to be the rookie, Jihad Campbell, 1st-round pick out of Alabama. Keep an eye on number 30. He can also get on the edge and rush. But Campbell will have to make a lot of calls and recognition against this Cowboy offense. And I want to see him cover these backs and tight ends as well. Pressure on Campbell. At safety, we already talked about the fact that they lost Gardner Johnson. Well, they're going to let Sidney Brown take his place. Sidney Brown's going to start at safety. Makuba, their 2nd-round pick from Texas, I believe is still out. They like Makuba, but look for Sidney Brown to make his first start, really, as a Philadelphia Eagle. So Brown, Campbell, edge issues, keep an eye on that. The Philadelphia Eagles still, though, with Cooper DeJean in the slot, Quinyon Mitchell at one corner. Remember, he stays on the Eagles' right side. So if you're on the left side of the Cowboy offense, you'll see the great Quinyon Mitchell, not only a great cover guy, 2nd in the league and Rookie of the Year last year for defense, very good tackler. But again, is it going to be Ringo, Adoree Jackson? Can they hold up for 60 minutes? Can they hold up for 17 weeks? We'll find out. Love Reed Blankenship, Gruden grinder, former Middle Tennessee State player, undrafted. This guy's got 7 picks in his career. He's a ball-hawking, good open field tackler. What it's all going to come down to is the Dallas Cowboys' young offensive line against this defensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles. And they're led by Jalen Carter, number 98. What a job he did in his 2nd year. Got his weight down, played 80% of the plays in the regular season, and then in the playoffs, he played 88% of the time. That's uncommon for a 300-pound man. And everybody says, his stats aren't that great. Bullshit. His factor grade is excellent. Pressure on the quarterback, hits on the quarterback, batted passes, pursuit plays, sacks. This guy's a great young defensive tackle, much like Reggie White and Jerome Brown were for the Philadelphia Eagles years ago. And they also are waiting on Jordan Davis. Big, mammoth Georgia Bulldog, former first-round pick. Jordan Davis, when I watched the Eagles, only played 38% of the time in the regular season. Then in the playoffs, he only played 21% of the time. So you know what Jordan Davis did, Jake? He lost 25 pounds. He got himself in premier shape because he sees what it did for Carter. So look for Jordan Davis to emerge, and that'll be very, very important. They also have a couple backup inside players that you got to keep an eye on because they also lost Milton Williams, a $100 million defensive lineman who went to the New England Patriots. But keep an eye on their third defensive tackle, Moro Ajomo. This guy is the reason why Jordan Davis didn't play. I mean, he's third in the NFL in Pro Football Focus in effective rushes from the inside. He wears 97. Ajomo, he's a hell of an inside rusher. They got another guy, Gabe Hall, number 96. Who the hell is this guy? He comes out of Baylor. I don't even think he's drafted. He's got this club move he's using in the preseason. It's awesome. Then they drafted Robinson, number 95, out of Nebraska. He had a great factor grade too. Batted passes, sacks, hits on the quarterback. So they have some energy inside. The question is outside. Who can we use to get after this left tackle of the Cowboys? We don't even know if Tyler Guyton's going to play. We don't know much about Nate Thomas. We want to find out about the rookie right guard, Booker. Is he really Zach Martin, the perennial Pro Bowler? Let's find out with Jalen Carter. And who's going to come over here and work against Terrence Steele, who I think has struggled at right tackle for the Cowboys? Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Nolan Smith? Is Z Ojulari going to come through for me? Let's find out. Let's play this game. The best play the Eagles have in their playbook is a play I call 15 pigeon. To the left, 14 pigeon is to the right. Ask me why I call it pigeon.
Why?
I have no idea. Anyways, a lot of our slot combinations were named after birds, raven, etc. So pigeon's a bird, it's the only one I could think of. But anyway, what they do in critical short yardage, goal line, 4-minute situations, when they know it's man-to-man, when they think it's man-to-man, they call this play. They'll take the great A.J. Brown, put him wide out here in motion. They'll bring him in quick motion behind the quarterback, and everybody on TV goes, holy cow, there goes A.J. Brown. And the quarterback, Hurts, will catch the ball in the gun. He's going to hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley on the tight zone. They're going to push up to the onside backer, tight combination up to the backside backer, and they're going to read the defensive end. If the end closes, they don't hand the ball to Saquon. If the end comes up the field, they'll give it. You guys with me? Yep. But if that end closes, Hurts is going to keep it and potentially run for a first down. Or he'll pull the ball and they have a designed pick play to attack man coverage. So Devonta Smith, who's very reliable, he'll go in there and pick the defender who's covering Dallas Goedert. You guys with me? And when he goes inside, the corner covering Devonta Smith goes in there to cover Devonta Smith. And here goes Dallas Goedert. Good God, that's why they call him Goddard. It's like that pigeon play. It's unbelievable the amount of success that they have handing the ball to Saquon, letting Jalen keep it, or popping it to the tight end with a natural pick. And guess what? If they load the box over here, he'll flip the ball to the beast, and A.J. Brown will take it. So they got 4 options with 4 big-time players. God, I'm tired. Woo! Well, you got to pick somebody. And as an ex-Philadelphia Eagle myself, I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles. 31-20. Philly's just got too many good players. I'm going to go to Geno's right now and get me a cheesesteak. See you later.